Yeah, hello, good morning. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. We are back again on another edition of your favorite morning program. So wherever you're watching, I mean, it's a pleasure for joining us. And I have Mr. Adedrame as the co-host. Mr. Ade,
The less than amazing.
small, I will not recognize you with the chair.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I like the
I want to blend in.
I like the outfit, but you are a bit white.
Shades of green. Shades of green.
Yeah, so it's good to have you, Mr. Ade.
Good to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been okay. I've been
Good.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
Mr. Malika is our newspaper review guest. Mr. Ka, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm not fully awake.
What happened? You didn't take your
He
coffee?
already had his coffee.
I've had my coffee already.
And I did not have my tea.
Yeah. If you're looking for someone with a lot of money, he got a lot of money. You see, he's using iPhone with 3 eyes.
Advertise that to the wall and say zero money.
Yeah, all right. We are back, and on the program today, we'll take a look at the African Code from the Code, the newspaper review. And we'll also engage the Ministry of Health. They are currently ruling the MR campaign, the measles rubella.
Measles and rubella.
Yes, so campaign, which is very significant. And today it's the last day. They've gone throughout the country to make sure our children are vaccinated, because they believe vaccination is the only way, I mean, to help prevent other diseases. Absolutely. Yeah, so from there we'll be talking to we'll be taking a look at the nationwide animal health drive, marks World Animal Day, and we'll be having the team from the Gambia Animal Association.
Okay.
They would be here, and we'll engage them on their nationwide tour, and what are some of the things that they've gained, from that tour.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be our program for today. Yeah. But first, let's take a look at the African Code. There was a time I received a very interesting African Code.
Let's hope it's one we can understand.
Yes.
Because some of them are a bit perplexing.
Yeah, but I think this one it's a direct one.
We're looking forward to it.
I'm trying to solve for it.
You're trying to pull it up.
Yes,
okay, cool.
yes.
Yeah.
But finally, it's here. Yes. So this one reads: a river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Imagine water cutting through rock. It will take a long time before it achieves its purpose. Mm-hmm. But eventually,
yes,
it will happen one day. Mr. Ka.
Yeah.
Perseverance and persistence can pay. So sometimes do not give up, because you just try once and you fail. You have to keep trying until you succeed. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes, the saying also goes that it's also madness or stupidity to be repeating the same thing and expecting a different result. Mm-hmm. But in this particular instance, I think it's perfectly right, and you can see it, even the wind that blows on the rocks change the shapes and the forms of the rocks. Mm-hmm. That's why sometimes you go to places like the desert or areas where you have huge rocks, and you see they have some very interesting shapes because of the battering of the sand, these thin sands with the wind over a period. And this, when we say period, it doesn't mean a decade or so. You're talking about long time before you can see the impact, but gradually it does do it. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
Mr. Carr mentioned 2 Ps. There's another P. He mentioned persistence. He mentioned perseverance. There's also patience. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's what this proverb is teaching us, that if you are patient and you persevere and you are persistent, you can achieve things. It's not always the immediate effect that will be seen, observed, or that will happen, but over time, you keep chipping away, slowly, it will happen. Something will happen. You will get the results. You will see the results. You will see the river, which is running and running and running. Over time, it's not going to happen instantaneously, that it makes a dent in that rock or those rocks. But over time, it persistently flows and flows, and slowly it wears and finds a path through. So yes.
Let's take a look at den in our villages. We used to have wells where you have maybe a big wooden, you know,
like
frame,
kind of a beam over it.
you know, where they will throw a rope around it, which
Hang
will
the
be
bucket.
pulling.
Yeah.
You know, gradually you can see how
It
that
wears.
rope wears and enters, you know, in that wooden.
Well, this is it. It's because the persistent movement of it, you know, will wear away, and of course you'll have to change that suspension, the beam. Otherwise, of course, the rope will cut through it, and your bucket will fall into the well, which is what you don't want. But it's
so
about,
I mean,
it's persistence.
Life is all about being consistent in what you do. You know, being persistent in what you do, to have the belief, you know, at the end of the time, this is achievable, you understand? So there are dreams that, you know, when you dream, you believe, you will definitely achieve them, provided you are persistent in achieving your dreams.
I'm smiling because a particular politician might be smiling at this one and said, you know, people keep saying I shouldn't keep standing for the presidency. But I'll keep going.
Why shouldn't I move?
Why
one
shouldn't
day
I?
It will come.
Why shouldn't I? You know, I'm patient, I'm persistent, and one day it will come. And not just, of course, in the Gambia. We had it with Abdoulaye Wade in Senegal. How many times? 5 times?
There was a time
he stood for the presidency before he you know, and that was about patience and persistence. Yeah, and sometimes you get your reward. So yeah.
Let's take a look at the case of the United Democratic Party. I mean, they are also very persistent in what they do. There was a time since 1996 they've been contesting elections against Jammeh. So, you know, fortunately, I mean, Adama Barrow hailed from the UDP party.
Because when there was a kind of coalition that was led by the UDP, which of course brought him into power. And yes, I mean, in some countries, like in Cameroon recently, where they've just had elections, again, the opposition have been persistently trying to shift Paul Biya. Hasn't worked, you know. He's now gone for his 8th term. He's just been confirmed yesterday by the Constitutional Court that he's won an 8th term. And you have it in different countries, you know. Where, you know, people have stood. I mean, I think Bernie Sanders has stood for presidency of the United States about 6 times. He's never won it, and he's probably never likely. Well, not probably. He's never likely to win it. But he keeps putting
for the U.S.
as an independent, yes, U.S. presidency. But yeah,
and he's still contesting.
I think he didn't the last time he pulled out, but he's still quite a
optimistic.
He's not optimistic. He's still a force in the kind of politics, and people listen to him.
He's backing people like Mamdani now.
That's right, Zoran Mamdani,
who's
who's going for the mayor of New York. Yeah. So yes, it's about persistence and patience. And perseverance. 3 Ps.
Exactly. So now let's move on. We'll take a look at some of the stories on the newspapers, Mr. Ade.
Let's do that. Yes.
Gamtel workers threaten to sit down strike, amid unpaid wages.
Yes. A sit-down strike is literally you sit
strike.
Down. But here, every strike is called a sit-down strike.
That's the point.
If you don't go to work, you strike. You know, sometimes in Britain, before they changed the laws, Mr. Carr will remember this. You used to have the pickets outside preventing those who were trying to break the strike from going in and saying, look, we need to have solidarity. But that's quite, you know, a state-owned enterprise, and you hear about workers saying they haven't been paid. It is quite scary with all what the other GSM companies pay, you know, kind of, you know, support them and others. It seems quite remarkable that they should get paid.
Well, you have to understand that it's an institution that is going through some changes.
Yeah.
And we know it is already an open secret that they are being challenged by a lot of things. And government is restructuring to see, you know, how they can offload some of these things, because it's becoming a burden onto the taxpayers to the extent that it's been heavily subsidized. And that cannot continue. So for those reasons, the challenges are there. And in the restructuring phase, naturally, they will have a lot of challenges, amongst which would be, you know, paying of wages. You know, I think the government will work it out to make sure that, you know, their entitlements are duly paid. Yeah, but it's a statement of desperation. That is why, you know, they're making that sit-down strike
the
or
threat,
laying
the threat
down
of
their
it,
tools or whatever terminology, but they're just expressing a statement of frustration that they have worked and need to be paid.
Yeah, I mean, Jammeh can return, but must face TRRC law. Dr. Cisse, Mr. Ka.
Absolutely, you know, Jammeh is not remorseful at all, considering all the allegations that has been laid against him, and considering that some of the people, particularly those described as junglers, some of them have been, you know, sentenced in other countries as to, you know, the things that they have been doing, the crimes that they have committed. So he must not go with the illusion and the assumption that he will have it easy when he comes to the Gambia. They have to prosecute him like anybody else. He is no different. I mean, nobody is above the law, and that there are allegations laid against him. Nobody is stopping him from coming. But once he steps foot here, what we expect, particularly the victims and the Gambians are the victims by and large, for he have oppressed the Gambian people for 22 years. So therefore he must answer to the tune of the law, and we don't expect any less. So once he steps his foot here, I think what needs to be done, the authorities, we expect they will do what has to be done.
Yeah, you know, the question here is, I mean, we still believe Jammeh have some loyalists in this country. I mean, we've seen what happened in Kanilai on Saturday, where his loyalists, when he announced that he's returning in November, some of them were jubilating and celebrating. Is that not going to cause, I mean, future problems when Jammeh?
No, that's normal. Like I said, Jammeh is no different from any other person. He's a citizen, and the law is here for everybody who have committed a crime, regardless of your supporters. People, when they go to court, sometimes they have a lot of supporters following them. But that does not mean that, you know, we have seen the trials of Lawyer Dabo and the others. You had huge number of followers going to the courts regularly, you know, and demanding, but nonetheless, they had to go through the same process. So Jammeh is no different. If he steps foot, the allegations are there. Therefore, he must be tried under the laws as they are now. If they cannot still structure the hybrid laws which they want to use to try him, the Gambian laws also are here, and there are certain crimes that he could be tried against. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he was in power for 22 years, so it would be unusual if he didn't have supporters. And you know, you don't want to tribalize the whole thing, but there are certain tribes who felt that they benefited because they had one of their own as the president, and he made sure that people from his tribe benefited and people from his particular area benefited. So those people will always support him. And don't forget, he lost an election. So thousands, if not tens of thousands, voted for him in that election, which he lost. And those people haven't just suddenly drifted away. Some of them, for political expediency, have kind of jumped camp because they want to still be, you know.
I just want to understand what the Constitution say about a person who is accused of committing such kind of crimes that are alleged on former President Yahya Jammeh. Because on one of his audios I heard, according to the agreement signed, he was supposed to return to this country after 6 months and still contest elections. The Constitution, whether it allows him to still contest as a presidential candidate.
Yeah, you know, our laws stem from our Constitution. So even if he had any agreement with ECOWAS and all that, I don't remember any laws being passed, you know, to that effect that Jammeh can go and then come back to contest. You're not saying he will contest, he cannot contest. There are processes, rules and regulations that are there placed, you know. Nonetheless, I mean, he have to come and face his case, answer to the crimes. And we know that if there are criminal convictions against you, you cannot contest in our laws. That is there in the books already. So for now, all those are just mooting points. What is important is there are lots of crimes alleged against him. Let him come and answer to those. Then the other issues about whether he can contest or not contest will stem from that as to what they...
And if, as he claims in the audio, it said he could come back after 6 months, you have to ask the question, why didn't he?
Up to
Because
9
he knows
years,
very well.
yeah.
He knows very well that that was untenable and unrealistic. And he's just, you know, he should stop teasing his supporters, really, because essentially that's all he's doing. He's not coming back.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you know.
when I listened to some of, I didn't listen to the whole conversation because I didn't have time to listen to it. I cannot take my time to sit and listen to such audios. But I've listened to part of it. I realized, okay, this is how the Gambia have been ruled for 22 years. These are the kind of threats, these are the kind of people that ruled us with iron hands. While we now realize, okay, then it was just a matter of threats, but at the end of the time, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in any country and you have one ruler who's there for 22 years or 30 years or 40 years, that's all you know. So even if it's dysfunctional, you think it's normal because you don't know anything else. So the ones who were born and grew up under that system, they think that's how people should rule. They think that's how presidents should rule. Rule with fear, rule with threats, you know, and kick the rule of law into touch. You know, for all the criticisms that one might have of the current situation, pretty much the country is governed by the rule of law, not the dictates of what comes from State House. And that used to be the case. One man's rule overruled everything, or one man's word overruled everything.
And disappearances, the worst aspect.
And you know, and so those who are kind of celebrating and so on, you know, you have to ask if they're all right in the head, really.
But they can celebrate as much as they want. They are entitled to that. It's their rights, but also the victims.
Not as far as provoking.
Yeah, but that is a different thing. Provoking what the victims also have a right for, you know, Jammeh to be tried. And who are the victims? Is the Gambian. For most time, the majority of the Gambian population. Jammeh have done a lot of things, and we heard from the TRRC going around giving people concussions, you know, poisoning people. A lot of people died. A lot of bodies still cannot be found because of disappearances. You know, there are some journalists still missing that they cannot locate. You know, and a lot of other people. So there is, the wound is not healed yet.
When you mention journalists, my heart and mind goes to the Mane family in Lamen, Chief Mane. I mean, he disappeared for so many years. I mean, we've seen his father struggling to...
The Cisse brothers from Guam as well.
To know,
they still cannot locate the bodies of those people.
Where his
they
son
butchered them.
Is, I mean, for a long time. I mean, that family, they've grown like that. We've lived like that. It's more of neighborhood. But, you know, we remembered, okay, their brother disappeared. Until today, we cannot even know.
Yeah, so the Cisse brothers from Guam, who came from the U.S. to do business here. They were butchered and murdered and killed. Until today, they cannot find their...
In the name of their mercenaries.
So not only that, some of the victims are even Jammeh's family members, the Jasset, Kujabi, some of them, you know, they are directly related to him. So he have a lot of things to answer for, and we are waiting for him to come. Let him be assured that it's not just the government, the general population. There are a lot of people that have interest in Jammeh as to how he would be treated and be dealt with. So the interest is beyond even the Gambia, because this is an internationally wanted somebody.
Absolutely.
Crimes that he committed transcend Gambia. They are beyond. So it's not just the problem of Gambia, it's beyond that.
All right, so the government, on the Standard newspaper, the government rejects calls to publish list of diplomatic passport holders.
Yeah, because yesterday there was a statement put out by State House saying that it was false to allege that, I think, I saw the figure and I had to check it twice. I think the allegation had been that there'd been something like 20,000 diplomatic passports. I'm not sure if there are 20. I'm not sure if there are 20,000 passports. Full stop. Never mind, 20,000 diplomatic passports. And they said that that claim was false because there's been the allegation. But what is interesting is that people, in some cases, they're asking for the names, But I think in some cases, people just want the numbers because it seems quite remarkable when some of the allegations came about some of the people, you know, somebody who was a driver to a minister or whatever ended up getting somebody who was a caretaker for the house of a minister ended up getting a diplomatic passport. There was this strong allegation that the whole system had been abused and that people who were getting it were not really diplomats. And that's what people are asking for. So they can look. It's one of these things. At some point, you can say no, no, no. You're going to have to give in because people are not going to relent in asking the question: how many and what was the criteria? What is the criteria?
But the thing that makes it worse now is trending in the Senegalese media. They're making all sorts of allegations that, you know, there are lots of Senegalese people that have been given, you know, diplomatic passports. So it's expanding with a lot of rumors. So there is a lot of clarification that they need to do. Those might not necessarily be true, but then, you know, I just followed, you know, Senegalese, you know, online and some of these platforms, and they're making all sorts of allegations.
And when they start publishing some of those actual passports, then all this kind of faffing about and beating about the bush will have to end. You have to confront it and be honest with the public.
True.
You know,
because this
you can't spin this one.
You end up having leakages somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Somebody will just be
no
there
spin doctoring is going to work.
And then start, you know, saying, then you start thinking, is Balde entatled? Is, you know, what are the criteria? We start revisiting that whole thing again. That's why transparency is always important. It allays a lot of fears and speculations and rumors. But then also...
So what is the procedure? I mean, the steps for one to acquire, and what qualifies an individual to acquire a diplomatic
I don't think anybody knows, and I think that's part of the problem. I mean, you saw the headline there. Look, you could publish the list without publishing the names. You can say Lamin Blank. What was he? Driver? You know, that's what people want to see. And then we will see.
But you know that list can be plagiarized.
How do you mean?
They can play with it.
No, you redact the name. Who can play with it? You redact the names. You put the first name, not the surname. And you put what the person's designation is. Was he a night watchman? Was he a driver? Was this person a cook, house cleaner, whatever? You know, so you don't have to put their full name. Then obviously, because of you know, personal information about them, which will reveal who they are.
One thing I know, diplomatic passports should be controlled. I mean,
I guess that's the whole discussion. They should be controlled. They shouldn't just be given out like confetti.
That is what is supposed.
You know, like sweets at a wedding or something. You know, because that's what seems to be happening, and that's what people. So they're not going to.
So
get
still
away
on
with.
the Standard newspaper, expert calls for fairer deal in any new EU-Gambia fisheries deal.
Absolutely. We have seen Senegal, what they did, is that they tore off everything and then went back to the drawing board, you know, to make sure that we benefit. These are the only resources the Gambians have, you know. Right. So if they're going into agreements or arrangements, our interests must supersede everything else. So they must take it seriously. Our resources cannot just be given just like that so cheaply. It doesn't matter who. You know, we are a sovereign nation and we have to protect, you know, our marine resources as they are doing in the West. Absolutely. If you go to EU, they protect their waters, they protect their seas for the benefit. This is one of the reasons why, in fact, Britain opted out of the EU because of the fishing wars between the European Union and Great Britain. So the British, you know, fishermen, you know, were very angry because, you know, the restrictions and certain measures that are being, so their interest was not being protected. But we see the amount that they say is what have been agreed over the period for fishing into our waters, not just the EU, with the Chinese, with the other, any other nation or a group of, you know, associations that come to fish our waters. We have to have something that is benefiting the Gambian first, the interest. You know,
100% agree with what Malik has said, because no amount of money that they can give us is going to compensate if we end up decimating our own fishing industry and the fishing communities. Yeah, you could give us 10 billion. I'm sorry,
well,
that community is not going to benefit from it.
It's happening.
That's what I'm saying. So no amount of money. Frankly, we'll tell them, keep your money. We want to keep our fishing industry, and we want those fishing communities to thrive and prosper. They're not going to do that if you give us 10 million euros or whatever, and so you can come and fish
Yeah,
here.
because at the end of the time, it
know.
will come back to the public.
You destroy the community.
It becomes more expensive. You know, the cost is no more effective, and it's really happening. So the problem lies with the people that are doing this bagging, those that are doing all these agreements with the EU.
Essentially, is what Malik is saying, that we have to do what other countries, including our neighbor Senegal, have done, saying the deal that we signed with you was not beneficial to us. Let's rip it up and start
And
again.
you must remember the EU is big. Once you sign with the EU, you're allowing Spain,
How many
Italy,
countries?
all
Portugal,
these EU member
you
countries
name
to
them.
come. And look
Yeah.
at the type of fishing
France.
trawlers they have.
Yeah,
You know,
we can't
sometimes they
compete.
do what is called capacity.
Yeah,
They can throw a net from here to
Yeah.
traffic light.
Hoover up
Yeah,
everything.
you know, I think it's very unfair. I think we should even put a moratorium over a period of maybe 5 years and say, you know, allow our stock to
A brighter
generate
example.
and protect.
There was a time we used to have this fish called kobo. I mean, it used to be like a famous. It's a famous fish. We used to have bigger ones. So the other time I saw the women around Serekunda market, and I asked them, "Why are we having small kobo?" They said, "It's the fishing, the trawlers that they're using to fish. Now we don't even have the bigger ones, so we manage with this smaller ones." So it's really...
There should be a moratorium over a durable period in order to allow for our
For a
stock
grazing
to
period,
We've never been good at striking deals, not just the Gambia, many African countries. They come with what looks like a big amount of money. We take it, and we don't think about the consequences. There's no foresight. It's like, oh, wow, you know, as if it's big. But then you think, okay, what's this going to do to the community that depends on fishing for its livelihood? You know, that community is going to suffer because you've struck this deal. Yeah, you've got some money in your coffers, but what about your own people? What about the communities that depend entirely
on it?
On marine resources. So we need to...
Well, and you see, our Gambia, we have a very fine river. And, you know, when you look at the marine resource that we have, it's really a wonderful one.
But a lot of them don't come up the river. It's along the coast. It's along the coast. The coast which we share with, you know, Senegal, with other...
Mauritania and all this. But
Guinea
then
Bissau.
they should really take it seriously. I mean, reassess not just the EU, but any other partner that have entered into agreement with us with regard to our marine resources. I think it's something that we have not been paying attention to, but it's about time. Like you said, now fish is becoming very expensive, and in Gambia it should not have been. Because we used to have our local fishermen, and you go to the beach side, you find a lot of fish laying about in the evening. They even give it away. But because of the intrusion of some of these fishing trawlers, they're acquiring license, and the EU is massive, you know. Plus, if you have the EU, other big countries, China and many others coming, then we are left with nothing. And that is the situation as it is
and
now.
you also have these fish meal factories. They only particularly want a particular type of fish. But when they drag everything else, they catch everything, and then they just throw away.
That's the worst. We should not even allow any of those industries.
There was a time if you travel to Sanyang, Tanje, you see piles of rotten fish. I mean, those are not needed. They don't want those fish. You know, so all this thing is really affecting our marine.
Definitely, I think they should come up with policies like creating. Like businesses like NPE used to be, you know, there used to be this private company called Private Public Ownership, I think NPE, National, I don't know, something used to be headed by Fisco Konate, and they had fishing trawlers employing Gambians, bringing a lot of fish. Women work there in the factories, and we can process some of these fish, you know, make sardines and a lot of things, and then Gambians also benefit directly, you know.
But the problem is in the Gambia, we got everything, all the natural resources, but at the end of the time, we do not take it upon ourselves to make sure we be producers. You understand?
We've always, we think small, and you're right. I mean, never mind fish. You could take it to almost every industry and every sector. Part of it has been the whole problem we were talking about the other day. If you don't have electricity, you can't have a manufacturing base, okay? So you can't process factories where you juice mangoes, oranges, every other fruit. You know, you go into the supermarket, all you see is imported stuff of fruits that we have here. Should not be the case. We should be able to juice them here. You know, I could go and buy mango juice that's imported, but how many shops will sell mango juice that's, you know, processed and produced here in the Gambia? You know, so we've never thought in those.
Yeah, but another thing that we don't pay attention to is data and information. We need, even our fish, you know, the marine, we need to know, you know, the quantity and the type of fish that we have within our coastline, depletion. We should be able to monitor all these things. I don't know if the fisheries department have this kind of information or is available, or somebody is doing that monitoring, so that we can know, you know, the type of fish, the movement, migration, and all these things. What is, how dwindled some type of fish stock have gone, and what type, you know, this type of data is very important.
And I'll tell you what's happening with that, because right now, and they might be watching, Ministry of Agriculture, for example, it's only now that they're getting around to digitizing all the information that people have, you know, theses and dissertations that people have written about agriculture. And it's the same. If you want that, you have to go to a library and flick through physically. You couldn't just go online and find it. And of course, if you want to compile the data in the way that you need to have it digitized, it's only now that they're getting around to it.
We have a digital ministry now, so they should be able to provide all these things.
It's very expensive.
We have a lot of work to do when we talk about our minerals, sand mining, and all those areas. So there is so much information that really we need to know more about in those sectors.
Exactly. So let's move on to Guinea-Bissau. Embassies start giving nationality to descendants in the Gambia.
Okay, that's fine.
Bissau Guineans who are based in the Gambia can get nationality.
Partly Gambia, no.
If they're in the descendants.
If their laws allow it, they're just accessing them to regularize and have it.
So what does that giving them nationality mean? Does it mean they can vote in Guinea-Bissau elections? I don't know.
Yeah, if they have their documents as required, I guess they fulfill all the conditions.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine.
You can vote there and you can vote here. I don't know, if you're a descendant and you're born here.
Yeah, you can have.
That's interesting.
All right, so Mr. Adedrame, Cameroon.
Yes. Paul Biya.
Paul Biya. This
Biya,
is going to be his 8th term.
To Biya or not to Biya. Yeah.
So this means Paul is going to rule for the rest of his life.
He'll be 99.
After, but I think after 99
you don't know that he will rule for till the end of it. But what is interesting is we have all these African countries, you know, going through the same thing, and we never learn. We see even Ivory Coast, the guy is going for the 4th term. And yes, you can win, but governing and winning, they are two different things. Now, Paul can win, but can he govern?
The energy.
He'll end up not even the energy, chaos in the society.
There's already chaos. How many people have died since yesterday?
Having a lot of demonstrations.
The generation of Gen
So
Zs.
spend all the time.
It's not just Gen Zs. People are fed up.
Yeah.
It's not just Gen Z.
Spending your time trying to manage, let alone develop. You cannot even manage, let alone be focused in terms of providing for the people. And Cameroon is a rich country. It's an oil country with a lot of potential.
Half English, half French.
Yeah, you know, that divide is there, but they could have walked around. I'm sure if they were impacting the lives of the people in terms of development, all those issues would not be consequential.
And it's the smallest margin that I think he's ever received, if you believe the result, 53%.
This election?
This election, 53%.
So it's telling you, I mean, the votes are...
I don't even believe that they have that.
Yeah, so, you know, but I think also what hasn't helped, and I said it on here, was Issa Chiroma Bakari, the main opposition guy, had declared himself the winner the day after the election when votes hadn't even really been counted. So the first votes that were counted were from the diaspora, and he won that clearly. And I think he just used that to kind of extrapolate.
As a country.
But he's been issuing his own count from all the polling stations, and he says it contradicts what has been certified by Elecam, which
and
is
I
the
believe him.
so,
This idiot.
yeah.
Well, it's
So-
really
so-
crazy.
so
but
he called for
it
people to
counts.
come out onto the streets yesterday, and they did.
I mean, but
And they-
what's going to happen now? The results have been announced by the Electoral Commission. There is nothing that's going to, if you want that, he...
No, there's a
put
court
it-
you can appeal to, but Chiroma had already said before that he wasn't even going to appeal to the court if they came out and declared.
No, apparently you
Yes.
appeal before the results are announced. That appeal has already been done and dismissed.
Right.
That's why they have that long period
The,
of
right,
announcing.
14 days.
So
And
you have to
there
appeal.
was a president that was a sitting president that was dismissed. There was a time when
Oh,
the results were sent to court.
Yes, was it in Malawi?
Yeah.
Yes,
sort of.
yes.
Sort of he
Yeah,
lost.
yes, he lost the game,
He
but
came to
it is
win
different.
again, yeah.
It's different, and then but now he's back.
He's the president.
He's
now.
back again.
Yes, he just
He
won
win
a
this
couple of
time
weeks
round,
ago.
yeah.
Yes, but he was removed, and he then lost that
So
election.
the Tanzanian president as well.
There's
According to what I
elections as well.
heard, it's on the 19th of next month. But he jailed most of the opposition opposition parties. So how can
Jammeh is not the only one who knows how to do that stuff.
You know, I was surprised to know that lady was able to do that.
Yeah, well,
but you know, in a lot of these
She must be
countries,
very powerful.
in a lot of these countries, you control the instruments of government. So you control the army, you control the police, and in many cases, you control the judiciary. So that even when people try to appeal against, you can accuse them of all sorts of things on treason, and then they arrest them and they lock them up. You know, so it's happened. We've seen it in Zimbabwe, we've seen it in Uganda. I mean, it's a common thing across Africa.
So I mean, Ibrahim Jawara. He's currently watching from the United States of America. He sent a rectification of the National Partnership Enterprises. And he said, good
that's
morning
what
to everyone.
NPE, National
Yes,
Partnership.
so Ibrahim
Yes.
Jawara, good morning to you.
And of course, their president is intending to go for a third term. He keeps saying it, Trump, that the 22nd Amendment only came in
I
1951.
told
So it's
you.
not like it's always
Trump
been there.
would be the first person to bring coup d'etat.
Yeah, I think
if you
he's-
go
I think
for the
he's-
third term, this means you're doing coup d'etat.
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you very much, Mr. Carr, for reviewing these papers with us. And
Thank you.
it was really a fruitful engagement.
Yeah.
And we hope to have a lot of these another time. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
So viewers, will be right back after the break.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenyi 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Naine dake network koto mi yalonko wole warta nyimbanko kan adung adabe soniaring wala nyama. Imuna fang telefono la mi yalonko abe seniaring adung internet wobe tariaring. Nyindung kiusel dorna sinyin nati aleno. Ibori yela kiusel line ota. Customer care mi suti atima. Bi. Kiusel network ko mi warta network ko beti adung adabe soniaring. Kiusel sunu boss. Ntolenga silo walang dulia bulan noma.
QCell, the fastest growing network in the Gambia. now presents to you the eSIM. QCell's eSIM allows you to electronically scan a code and join the world of digital SIM cards. Customers with physical SIMs can easily switch to the eSIM as well. So rush now and get connected with an eSIM and start using the latest mobile technology with your trusted GSM operator. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sinupus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Yes, so, okay. Oh, there's money with the ministry. Thank you. We are back on air, and everybody heard that.
Said you only hear from people.
Oh, okay. I thought
No,
he said there's money with the ministry.
No.
All right, so we are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde. Now let's move on to the other segment of this program. And as you know, the Minister of Health is out and about rolling out vaccination since last week. It is very important for us to discuss this on this program. Although there is a special program put aside for it, that's Thursday night, the Ministry of Health program that we do from 9 to 10 p.m. But now, to expand that horizon, we have Mbayam Jom, Program Officer, EPI. Mbayam, you're welcome.
Thank you, Bande. And I'm saying a very good morning to all viewers out there. I appreciate the invite this morning.
Yes, it's good to have you.
We appreciate you coming. Expanded program on immunization.
Yes, Mr. Ade.
So now it's MR, measles and rubella. Before you dive into that, was it ever in this country measles, mumps and rubella? Because I know that's what they used to have in the UK. MMR they called it. But here is MR, just measles and rubella. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell us what it entails, please?
The MMR, maybe mumps, is not something that really is disturbing this part of the continent.
Right.
So vaccines are always introduced based on pathogens that really are disturbing.
Mumps is the thing that affects your
exactly,
your
jaws.
Yeah, yes.
But then to also say measles had been rolled out in the Gambia in the 1982s, like in the 1980s. So here we are catching up with children that really missed their vaccination and those that did not have the opportunity to be vaccinated at all. But then we are also looking at those children who must have at least gotten the measles 2 doses. MR, we are doing MR. We used to be doing measles, but in 2019 we also included the rubella into it. Now we are doing the MR. So we're also trying to catch up with those kids probably who had had just a single dose, or probably they had had 2 doses prior to the campaign, but boosting their immunity too matters. So that's the reason why we are targeting children from 9 months to 5 years. But normally with routine services, we give MR to children at 9 months and then a second dose at 18 months.
And in terms of
so when it comes to the measles, it is a highly contagious viral infection, and equally the rubella. And normally the children under 5 are the most vulnerable. It's the same reason why when we are targeting, we target the under 5s, simply because we know when they are contracted with measles and did not seek for health care on time or properly, they may end up having complications such as blindness, pneumonia, diarrhea, and also deafness. We also some inflammation of the brain and encephalitis, which affects their intelligence when it comes to learning. That is provided if the child did not lost a life or lose their life. But then when it also comes to rubella, equally is milder than measles, but then it has the same contagious it has the same infection it can do to the child, the same complications, the same infection it gives to the child. But then it's more serious with the pregnant woman.
Yes, because I was going to say that's what I read before I came on.
It's more serious with the pregnant woman, where it is known as the congenital rubella syndrome. So when the woman contracts rubella, it may be like, it will nothing like severe, but then the fetus is what is being affected, especially during the period of the trimester. And the damage is caused more within the first trimester of life compared to later trimesters. So what happens to the child? The child could be born with some bad defects, could be born with those, encephalitis, small head megalocephaly. So the child could have so many issues with the congenital rubella syndrome. So it is important, every pregnant woman and every mother or a caregiver to a parent that is less than 5 years to honestly take up vaccination very seriously and opt for the services on monthly basis in any closest health facility to you.
So for those of our viewers who don't understand English, do you have a preferred language that you would like to give the same message, please?
I'm comfortable with Wolof.
Please, yes.
Okay, may nuyu képp koo xam ne mu ñooy seetaan si jamono ji man la seen doomu ndey di jërëjëfal gaay yi QTV ñoo ma fi invite tey maanaam nag alxamis bu nekk na ma fay ñëw and my host is here Bande my host waaye ba tey nag ñuy dellu rek si waxtaanu feebaru ngas ji jamono ji si biir réew mi ñu ngi am campagne te tey la campagne bi di jeex dooroon nañ si alxamis bale passé ñuy ñaax nag mboolem waajur ne la na nga dem si lopitaan bu la gën a jege su fekkee pingukat yi jotu ñoo ñëw sa kër borom dina mun a am pingu fii ba ëllëg waaye nag du continuer forever xëy na ëllëg soo demee ba tey dina fekk ñu ngi desee pingu campagne bi borom mun na koo am te nag feebaru ngas mu doon feebar joo xam ne feebar bu doy waar la ndegem dina jël bakkeni xale wala su fekkee ne xale bi jotuta dee si feebar bi dina ko bàyyi ay jafe-jafe yu mel ni biir bu daw yu mel ni pneumonia yoo xam ne toujours xale bi dafay am ay pneumonia feebaru pneumonia mooy feebaru sedde bi lu mel ni gumbo loolu tamit doon na si jafe-jafe boo xam ne feebaru ngas dina ko bàyyee nit surtout jigéeni biir yi nga xam ne am nañ rubella ñoom it tamit léegi-léeg dinañ am doom yoo xam ne daanaka soo xoolee dañ laa wax ne kii de bi mu biiree woon ngelaw bu bon la dajel wala ñu ne la ngelawu jinne la dajel bés bu nekk ñu ngi tooñ jinne yi maanaam loolu soo amee doom boo xam ne am na nu mooy meloo rek dafay fekk ne yaay bi dafa amoon rubella ñu gën koo xamee si congenital rubella syndrome daanaka du def yaay bi dara waaye xale bi dina am ay jafe-jafe yoo xam ne dafa nekk ay lifelong comme xale bi keroog bu mu juddoo ba balaa moo dee si jafe-jafe yooyu lay nekk moom ay ndimbal rek lay soxla kon nag na waajur yi bàyyi xel ni amul benn waajur boo xam ne tamit dina bugg a am doom boo xam ne keroog bu mu juddoo ba balaa moo uyu ji borom yow yaa koy toppatoo soo gisee ñuy am doom moo dafa nekk ne su fekkee ne dem na ba jamono waajur bi munatut xale bi taxaw waaye xale boo xam ne yaa koy defal lu nekk loolu guma am na waajur bu ko bugga
in communities, I mean, there are kids that are born with special needs sometimes. People attribute that to jinns,
I know, I'm aware.
and the black witchcraft, and we've seen a lot of that. Even recently, I've seen another one where the mother just kept this child inside the house throughout for almost 6 good years. And I was furious when I looked at, because I visit them all the time, and I keep hearing the child crying inside the bedroom, inside. If I'm at the parlor watching TV, and I keep hearing the cries, and I've visited them for a long time, I've never seen that child. And I said to the mother one day, why is the child always inside? Why not you bring the child? She said to me, the child is with a condition. I said, you don't have to keep the child for many years in the house. Bring out the child. And the child was brought out, and you can see how the child was kept in the house, how it affected the child's body.
It will affect his mentality, the way he mingles with people.
Because he's no longer socialized.
Yeah, he's alone. The person has been isolated
and that's where they keep the child. And even going out, they keep the child in the house. They go and leave the child there. So that was really a touching one for me. So, it's telling you how these injections can prevent those things.
And with the same time, we are constrained when it comes to the injection, when it comes to immunization services we are rendering. And rumors and misinformation over, let me say, vaccine hesitancy had been the order of the day recently. But then I would just want to put across to parents and caregivers out there. There were times in the 1960s, in the 1950s, and even early 1970s to late, you would see children that would die in numbers, in good numbers for that matter. simply because there had not been any vaccination that was preventing them. Sure. And so being, there were some cultural practices that women used to do. They would call it dimba tulungo, others would say kanyalengo, simply because they used to be, at the end of the day, lose all their children to early childhood that the vaccine preventable diseases are preventing today. And I could remember, or I would just say, then in the days, probably they knew there is a problem, but how are we going to solve this problem was their problem. But then they were also looking for means and ways to see at least the diseases are being driven away. But then in real sense, we all know diseases are caused by pathogens. There is nothing like because there were so many diarrheal diseases that also if health is not sick on time, that child could lose their life. But then let's look at it. What is the connection to having a wrapper that you used to tie like your baby bond to the baby having diarrhea? So it's not mingling at all. And to every disease, obviously, is caused by a pathogen. Febar bu neka domi jangoro koy waral du mbotu bu laka wala lenen ah lenen. Waaye nak xëy na jamono yooyu waajur yi dañ doon génn di sabablu di ut pexe pour xale yi mun a am wir. Léegi nag yàlla def na ba pexe am na. Pengu amna kaay leen ngeen pengu waaye jamono ji dafa fekkoon ne xamuñ luy ngas xamuñ luy pois xamuñ luy jaddaaral.
So those are all names of sickness.
So all these are vaccines that we are also given.
There was a time a particular sickness will come into a community and it will kill almost all the children of that community.
Yes. Because they're always the most vulnerable. And when it comes to the vaccine preventable diseases, it's not only children that can contract it. Any person at any age could contract the diseases, but then children are the most vulnerable. So it's the same reason why the Ministry of Health, through the expanded program on immunization, in anything that we're trying to do, all other strategies where we're trying to prevent diseases, we are targeting the under 5s, simply because we know they are the future leaders of this country. And you cannot have a future leader that is physically challenged. You cannot have a future leader that is not very much intelligent. You cannot have a future leader that is blind. You cannot have a future leader that is, deaf. So obviously, we really have to make sure they had a brighter tomorrow. And that's the vaccines that we are giving out. And as a program, the expanded program on immunization, we are giving up to 14 vaccines. And from the MR, by next month, the 10th of November, we are coming up with the HPV vaccine, the human papilloma virus that prevents cervical cancer. And I know, even if we did not have relatives or we didn't have friends or we did not have somebody that has cervical cancer, but we've had, especially in the Gambia, it's the second leading cause of death among women in the Gambia. And it's coming on the rise. How many people are out there who really don't know about cervical cancer? How many people are out there who knows we should seek for treatment at an early level before it gets too late? Because when you look at it, the country has no oncologists, like no cancer specialists. And when it comes to cancers, they are incurable. There's nothing that can be done for the individual except giving them palliative care. If you say headache, okay, you are giving drug for headache. Stomach ache, you are giving drug for stomach ache. And that is what you will be left with till the...
So how far have you gone with the vaccination since you started?
Oh, today is the last day. It lasted for 6 days, but I know obviously probably we still have tomorrow to do mop-up to areas that were not covered. And as of day 4, because teams close very late in anticipation to making sure every area we are going to is being covered before we close for that day. So as of day 4, we have vaccinated about 237 children across the country. And nationally, we are at 61%. Even though, that's not what we are anticipating.
I was going to say, because you would have had a target. And so how close or how far are you from that target?
We are still very far, because looking at 60 to 90 or 95, we still have a long way to catch up with the 95%. But then it's still not very bad. 60%, 61% is not very bad. So if yesterday's data, including today's data, is cumulated, obviously I'm sure we will be very close to 90, if not beyond 90. And I will also just say this, I would say the Ministry of Health, especially the EPI, really appreciated collaborating with the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And a sincere appreciation goes to the Regional Education Directorate honestly, for being there for us. And schools this time, especially conventional schools, really did great. Because for those schools that even have rapport with immunization officers, they were calling them to come and vaccinate our children. And if you're there, you're welcome. Children are arranged for you. You know, everything is mobilized for you to make life easy. So, and some madrasas, we're still having challenges, even though a handful of them, honestly, we did not have any challenge. But we still have some that are giving us some challenges who are really not accepting. But then we are saying we wanted these children to be healthy. A child can only be in school or in class, be able to learn, provided they are healthy. So, and looking the fact that the MR vaccines we are giving, MR is such that it's transmittable from one person to another. If this was hypertension or any other chronic disease, probably we will not be worried. Because if you are infected or you are affected, you are
then
alone that is being affected.
Right.
But here, it's
quickly transmitted.
It's highly transmitted. And I always would say the reproductive number for measles is from 8 to 12. Like one child with measles has the tendency of transmitting the disease to 8 or 12 children within a short period of time. So you can see, and each of those children to have a circle. At the end of the day, each will go back home. And there are siblings. There are other children that they play with. So by the time you realize, it's an outbreak already. So measles is such that it can easily cause outbreak, but then the best way that we can contain is through vaccination. So it is important. Every child, age 5 to 59 months, 9 months to 59 months, please, you can go to the nearest health facilities, provided teams did not visit your house. And we're visiting every public places equally, the markets, because when you go to the market, you find most of the people there are the women, and most of them are also with their children at their back. So we visit the ferry crossing points, we visit the border points, and anywhere that we think these eligible children are found, teams will be there. Equally, communities, and we also we did not leave out community members, because some of the community members are very influential, and them talking to people, or they also have circle that really trusted them. We are trying as much as possible at any moment or before any vaccination in communities. They are really they're informed, they are oriented, and anything that we are doing, they're also on top of it. So we are trying to build confidence that honestly the vaccines we are giving are not for anything but for our goodness.
So what about engaging mothers during their monthly visits to the hospitals? Do you engage them how important these vaccines are?
Yes, that is ongoing, year in, year out. The first thing we do at clinics is the preclinic health talk. And normally, some facilities, they even do it per batch, because if you want to talk to every mother just in the morning, there are mothers that will also come in the afternoon. So for that being the case, each time you have a batch of women, you do your preclinic health talk. And it's such that every week you talk about something. Because we are doing surveillance. We are only not giving the vaccines and forgetting about it. No, you have to know the vaccines you are giving, how much goodness are they doing to the children out there. Because we are not supposed to see like so many cases of a particular vaccine that we are giving of the same disease that is affecting children in the communities. We are preventing. Yeah, we are not saying we are not seeing them, because some vaccines like the MR is for elimination. So in as much as we want to eliminate MR in the country, notwithstanding, we will still have a child or two that will also fall sick of MR. It's normal. But the greater portion of the children should not be sick of MR. So for that being the case, we are having disease surveillance that two vaccination or public health officers, health facilities are reporting every day. And out of that, you'll be able to know what is the disease that your community reported. Remember, we also have the OPD, the outpatient department, where people with conditions will come and report. So they always analyze that data on a weekly basis to know what disease had been trending for last week, how are we going to make sure we also talk to parents about a particular disease or condition that is, or an event that is affecting a particular area, who are mostly affected, are they male or female, what is the age that is affected, are they under 5 or are they adults? So these are all things that we do at the end of the day. But preclinical health talk is fixed in every public health facility across the country.
Wow, nice. Thank you very much, Bayang, for coming on QTV this morning. And we hope to engage you again, you know, on another program different from the MR vaccination campaign. Yes, and I hope you people are coming on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, inshallah. You will still have to come and say a big thanks to mothers and parents out there.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure being here.
So my people will come on Thursday.
Inshallah.
Yeah, so viewers will take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
Bokal si network bu gëna rëy gëna yombale si réewi Gambia bi fii jëfandikool call bu set internet bu gaaw li yëpp si njëg bu yomba fii si QCell dawal léegi si suñ customer care bu la gëna jege ñu may la QCell line te doo si fay dara QCell network bu gëna rëy te it gëna yombale si réew mi fii QCell suñu bas ñoo xaali yoon bi ñeneen toppa.
These tracks have become my wall, my arena of victory and fear. I relentlessly walk, push, strain, and stretched. Moments when every fiber of my being screams, give up. But the fire within me won't let me quit. Despite the burning muscles, in this sport, every moment matters. Every second counts. My failures, my dreams, my pain, my triumphs, they propel me forward beyond all limits. I am Gina Mariam Basbite, and this is Sunyubus.
In the vibrant heart of the Gambia, where life pulses with energy and connections bind us together, your number is the key that unlocks.
So we are back. You're watching QTV this morning. Now we head to the last segment of this program. I am Ibrahim Opalde. And thanks to our viewers in the United States of America, England. We're also saying hello to you, not forgetting our brother Banky in Spain, Madrid. He followed this program.
And our regular viewer in the Philippines.
In the Philippines. I mean, we're saying hello. And to our Auntie Angela. How are you? I hope you're okay in the UK. Yeah, so now let's move on to the last segment, Mr. Adedrame. We are going to discuss the association responsible for you know, advocacy to handle animals well, treatment of animals. You know, they've been on a nationwide tour and they've returned. So we just want to know what they've gathered and what they've seen. And we have Mohamed Kazaliba here. Hazaliba rather. Yeah. Mohamed, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell us what your association is.
Good morning, Gambia. My name is Mohamed Hazaliba, the president of Animal Welfare Advocate Association of the Gambia. Today we are here to discuss with the nation with the pertaining to the nationwide tour we have conducted a few months ago. And then, you know, as he rightly mentioned, we went for a nationwide tour to render free treatment for the animals and also help farmers, sensitize the students and also the stakeholders who are directly or indirectly dealing with the animals, and also trying to reach out to schools to teach them the importance of animals and agriculture at large in the country.
Okay. Yeah. So the nationwide tour, how long did it last for and where did it start and finish?
Okay, we started the nationwide tour on the 27th of April. It took 1 week duration of the tour, and then we concluded it in the West Coast here, but we started from far away of here up to URR, CRR, almost all the region of the country.
In 1 week?
In 1 week.
Okay. That's there's a lot of places to visit. In 1 week. So,
Absolutely.
So what did it actually entail? So when you went to the places, you talked about schools, you talked about engaging. What did you do? And before you went to a particular region, I presume there must have been some sort of pre-arrangement about who you would see and what activities you would undertake once you got there. So if you tell us something about that.
Yeah, you are very right. The number one stakeholders which we used to engage with is the livestock department.
Sure.
They are the one who used to level the ground for us to be, smoothly moving around. And then we used to engage the DLS, the directors, and also the regional directors. And the LS livestock assistant who are on the ground in the villages we are about to visit on. And all the logistic arrangement, most of it, they are the one who used to render it for us so that we can have, our treatment and the like. Accessibility to the farmers as well and the villagers, they are the one who used to render it. So with that, we used to go and, target villages which are very, prominent in terms of agriculture and livestock issues. And then we used to engage them by reaching out to them, giving them free treatment, and then sensitizing them the importance of animals in our society and agriculture at large. But also we used to engage the students at the school to have a animal welfare friendly school club, wherein students will be engaging, because it's the children who used to have the animals in the provinces that much or taking good care of them. So when we inculcate those information to them, we see it deemed necessary that they are the most important, people when it comes to rendering animals in the society.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the treatment of animals. I mean, when you talk about animals, you are generalizing it. I mean, you don't have one category, but you have all of it. So how is Gambia, with treating of animals?
Now you wanted to generalize.
Yes.
Do you mean particular animals?
Well,
for example.
Well, it's animal welfare.
I
just want to know.
When
you talk about animals, the ones that we think about in the Gambia is horse, donkey,
cattle,
and most especially the one we eat.
So when you generalize animals, I don't want you to go to lions.
You are right. You are very right, Mr. Balde. Because nowadays people are realizing the importance of cats, donkeys, and also the dogs as well. Because by then, people don't care about dogs. You can see, sometimes you can see their puppies are even thrown away or they are kittens when it comes to cats. But now it's reducing. It's not that much eradicated, but it's reducing because the sensitization is taking place. But now what he is talking about is like you have categories of animals. You have the equines, that are the horses and the donkeys. You have the canines, that is the cats and the dogs and other, carnivorous. And then you have another set which are the ruminants, larger and the smaller ruminants. So all of these animals are important in our society. Well, when it comes to the ruminants, we all know how it is, during the Tobaski. People struggle to have sheep and the like. And then we have the land, we have the sun, we have the vegetation wherein we can have our own animals without struggling. So we sensitize people to have that 5 fundamental freedom for animals so that we can be feed sufficiency when it comes to food. But for the equines, they are indirectly benefiting us. The horses and the donkeys are the one we are using in the farms in order for us to have something to eat, because we are not that much mechanized, and the only hope we have is on those equines. So that means that we should be very careful how to handle those equines. But the population of the equines are reducing compared to before because their welfare is not being taken care of.
Just quickly, when I came to the Gambia, I always mention this here. You could live your whole life in Sierra Leone and never see a horse or a donkey. We just don't have them there, apart from a northern place called Kapala, which is like the cattle rearing area of the country. So there's a lot of things. So people don't have that kind of sense here, but here we see how the donkeys are, we see how they're mistreated and treated. I mean, does that actually form part of what you do? Because you see people beating these donkeys that are pulling their carts, and sometimes you want to intervene, but you know.
Yeah, in fact, putting heavier loads. I mean, there was a time a guy put a heavy load on the donkey, and the cart
collapsed.
No, the cart. I mean, I think the cart was able to balance the donkey up. You understand? So those things keep happening.
Yeah. So, so I mean, do you engage people like that? These donkey cart drivers and so on.
Yes, we engage people on that, most especially in the KMC area, because it's more of this area. And during our tour, in fact, we concluded our tour with the KMC because we met Taliban Zuta for him to, you know, see how best he can work with the donkey cart around the KMC. And he also tried to take a step like having a motorcycle in exchange of the donkey carts around the area, so that it can minimize some of the, you know, maltreatment and the loads on the animals. Likewise, the, you know, Banjul Area Council as well, we reach out to them. But when it comes to the provinces, we visited many villages, CRR North, CRR South, up to URR. There are many villages which are, you know, improving. You have, you know, community-based animal welfare people who used to take care of their animals. But now, what you said also, it will help when the enactment of that law of Animal Welfare Act is adopted or passed, or it's passed, it's already enacted, but now the draft constitution is not yet in implementation. So if we have that, we have power to stop such, because you cannot stop somebody who is beating his or her animal without having a ground which can back you. So that one also is another challenge, but we still, you know, trying to, you know, rescue animals. Yeah, most especially our partners, Makasutu, Gambia House and Donkey Trust.
Yes, I just wanted to. Okay, I wanted to ask. Okay, what is your partnership, your relation with
like
Horse and Donkey
Trust? They are among the co-founder of this association or this movement. Because there were some philanthropists who were from outside the country. They came here, they trained people about this animal welfare. So, you know, people see to it that, okay, as far as it's ours, why not we take a bold step and also try to do something before we will be waiting people to come
from outside.
So that's why she happened to be our mother. Heather Armstrong is our mother of the association. And then our father is Dr. Bubabaji, who is at Sweden. He's a Gambian, having his own clinic in Sweden. And then he's a doctor. And our advisor, Dr. Dafe, the former livestock, you know, general director. So we are working in partner of all of those people, and all the donors they used to help us, WTS Vets United, and Dr. Bubabaji at Sweden, and some of these, you know, organizations which are directly or indirectly
because
working with
you
animals.
kind of touched on something there. I was going to say, how is the organization funded to able to carry out these activities?
Yes.
So do you get people from within the Gambia contributing, or is it mainly people from outside? Because I did
no, in the Gambia, it's not that much. It's sometimes Dr. Daffy who used to donate us, and Heather Armstrong,
which is a shame,
that is at Makasutu. But at the end, we used to have it outside, and Dr. Bubabaji as well. I can't say yes, there are some Gambians, because Dr. Bubabaji is a Gambian.
So what about medical, I mean, supplies to treatment? How are you dispensing that throughout the country to support these animals?
Well, we used to have a budget for that when we secure for the nationwide funding. We used to have treatment team, because among ourselves we have almost all the sectors of the countries. We have public health. We are partnering with public health officers, and then we are partnering with Makasutu and others. But now we have all the sectors. The teachers are also there as teacher coordinators. We even launched a school at Armitage that about this animal welfare issue. So now, all of those things we have sections. So when it comes to the medical, we have some veterinarians who are among the association. So when we are going, we used to give them a team wherein they will be gathering for the treatment. We used to have our drugs at Abuko, pharmacy, quality drugs, wherein we will not have some irritation and the like, and other pharmacies as well. But now the drugs, we used to have them from the funding. And then we used to hand over everything when we meet any livestock assistant in the field. Because for us, we used to go for every year, or we go for sensitization time to time, but they are there in and out. So they know what is existing. They are the one who used to direct us. We go to the villages, the like of Galemanda in CRR North. You have YBK, everybody Kunda and the like. Deep inside all the regions, and Basse also we go to Gatamfa Kunda, Galle, how to call it, Dingri. I cannot name all the villages, but there are exceptionals like Daru, Madina Sanjang. They are very good when it comes to their livestock, and some Sarahule communities as well. They used to be very, mindful about their animals. So we are seeing improvement as far as there are some students who were there in few years ago, but now they are taking bold steps to come and study animal science in the university and in the college. It's because of this sensitization and making them to know that we cannot go without agriculture, and agriculture cannot go without animals as well.
So what about contacting you? Do you have a hotline or somewhere that one can contact you? All over, if
preferably a QCell number.
Yeah, we do.
We do. Like, what I mean is sort of a number, maybe a hotline or a 155 number, 331 number.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we have QCell number and AFICell number. Wherein you can reach out when you have some cases.
Okay.
Partnered with Bakasuku.
So the tour that you've just gone on, is that meant to be an annual thing? Do you have the budget to make it an annual thing, or what's the frequency of that?
We used to do it annual things. We used to do annual things by reaching out to some farmers, and sometimes we used to go for 3 days, sensitization to some communities, which we are even planning to go to the Fonyi end, because we don't reach there deep inside. We just used to be around the highway, and then we don't never reach out inside. So we are planning also to go in for that. But this is, a national development, and also we are urging the Gambians also to look upon this organization, because, it's ours and we are working for the national development. So when we have support, that will help the nation to grow when it comes to the, production.
I have a horse.
You have a horse?
Yes.
Where?
It's it's in my village. The thing is, it's a male horse, very strong one.
Does he know that you're the owner?
Yes, it knows. There was a time I was planning to bring it back home here.
Really?
Yes, to bring it here, and I'll be.
You have a big compound?
Yeah, we have a big compound where it can. But I was planning something. Maybe weekends I can just use it to go up and down, maybe at the riverside, horse riding.
So can you ride?
Yeah, I can.
That's good.
I can.
That's good.
So I want to try it, but if you bring it here, probably taking care of it might be another problem.
I was going to say.
That's good, because I don't
need
have time.
somebody. You're a very busy man.
I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I prefer leaving it at the village.
Yeah, that will be more.
But I'm not benefiting from it.
Yeah, because those people may benefit, or they will be benefiting in it by taking their loads and also working on the farms and the like. Yeah, I would also like to mention our ambassador, that is Daliba Kuyate.
Okay.
Yeah, he once mentioned in his song that there are people in the society or in the family, and there are animals in. Why can't you ask yourself what you are doing for the family? Wherein that donkey or that horse will go and find out food for you to eat, and they are maltreating them. The like of Mayama Cham and also Poet Sidibe, they are also ambassadors of this animal welfare. But also we would like to thank QTV for giving us this opportunity, and sensitization they are spreading to the society to know about animal welfare, because if you see many people are learning from animals, it's because of the mass sensitization. So I will seize this opportunity to recognize your effort and the like.
Thank you.
Because when, for example, Horse and Donkey Trust, they contact us quite a lot when they're doing these anti-rabies campaigns. We go out and we've always tried to cover them, as and when possible. And as you rightly said, it's about not just covering an event, but actually coming back, reporting it in order to get a message out to people who have animals that there's a reason why you need to do these things.
And there is vaccination going on, that is this PPR. During our tour, we used to sensitize people, like you said, this public health vaccination, the importance of it, and then you have this rabies vaccination. To protect animal, the importance of it. So you will see that when people reach out, they will know that, there are some people who came here to sensitize people about the importance of vaccination. So that one also is going on, that is PPR on ships and goods. It's going on, and then it's going smoothly. But then you can go to a village, they will be reluctant to keeping their animal inside, saying that, you know, it's not good and the like. But now the sensitization has been reaching people, and alhamdulillah.
One thing people need to understand, we are different animals living in this planet. We have the high-class animals, the people, and these animals too. So once we provide medicine, care for the people, we need to provide for the animals too.
Absolutely,
of course.
You know? Yeah. So thank you, Mohammed, for coming.
Yeah.
And we hope to engage you more in the future. And keep doing what you do. It's a good thing.
Thank you.
And I believe you've taken the challenge to do what other people are not ready to do. You understand?
Yeah.
Mr. Ade, thank you very much.
A pleasure. Have we got time for Mohammed to make an appeal to people,
you know,
to support and fund? Because this, as you said, this is about national
but
development.
I want you to mention only the QCell number.
Okay. No
On our television, I only want to hear QCell.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so
if you know the number.
Just give out your QCell number.
Okay, my QCell number is 391-7966. And we are urging all the Gambians to, you know, support this movement. We are even about to have a commemoration of World Animal Day, wherein we will be talking about the importance of animal. This Saturday coming.
We got an invite.
Yes, we got an invite. And then you have a recognition among yourself as well.
Oh, wow, nice. Wow, great.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be nice.
So we are urging everybody to, you know, come in, and also we work together as a nation. Pertaining to what you also mentioned, I will seize the opportunity to just have some discussion of it. That is One Health concept. Animals are directly, you know, related to humans. So all these diseases we are suffering from are from animals. So when we take a good care of our animals, it's like we are taking good care of ourselves. So less people, you know, be, you know, endeavoring to see the well-being of their animals and giving them their 5 fundamental freedoms.
Thank you very much. Yes, so Mr. Adedrame, this is all we have for today.
It's been a good one.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good sharing this platform with you, Mr. Ade.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So viewers, until then, enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye.